So far, 2004 has been a dream season for the smiling Tony La Russa. Yep, pitching, thumbs up. Everything's been good, including that great starting pitching. Fourth best in the National League. It continued yesterday, but that's not it. The terrific team defense led by Gold Glover Scott Rowland. And to go with the pitching and defense and offense that's the envy of most managers across baseball. Don't wake up, Tony. Cardinals flex their muscles against the Reds next. That may be the cutest, happiest kid we've seen on Fox Sports Net all year long. Matt Morris, will he be cute and happy at the end of this game? He takes on the Reds tonight. It is a steamy broadcast booth here tonight. There's no telling what's going to come out of our mouths this evening, so stay tuned for that. I'm Joe, that's Al. This behind us is the only piece of grass in St. Louis that doesn't have a tree branch down on it, and we welcome you to the game. How about the way this team has played overall? All facets of the game for the Cardinals and Tony La Russa are rolling right now, and that's our Bank of America higher standards.
Exactly right. This team is playing as a team. Every component is doing their job. Batting average, they're right there, number one. The starters, you can see their ERA has been declining, but the innings pitch is the real key there. They're best in the National League. The relievers, third best ERA, and the save percentage is best. So everything is really clicking right now, but you know what? You got to continue.
Got to continue. The Cardinals come in with a 4-game lead over the Cubs in the NL Central. Well, we hope your power is on. I guess if it isn't, you wouldn't be hearing me say that right now. We look at the All-Stars when we come back. Edgar Renteria, Scott Rowland, and that guy at first base. Albert Pujols. Dan will have that when we continue on Fox Sports Net.
Cardinals baseball rolls on FSN. The Muni at Forest Park. It should be a good night for baseball. Hopefully the rain is going to stay away. And this is game 2 of a 3-game set between the Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds on your home of Cardinals baseball, Fox Sports Net. Our Bank of America higher standards. Edgar Renteria, Scott Rowland, Albert Pujols, those three selected to the All-Star game as starters. Now, back in 1985, there were 3 infielders that were part of the All-Star game, but one of those was not a starter. These 3 starters and Scott Rowland, the leading vote getter in the National League for the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's crushed down the left field line. What a play by Rowland.
Backhanded play, Rowland.
Off balance throw. Wow. Albert Pujols drives his second of the day out into the bullpen. For baseball on this Tuesday night, we look at Cal Eldred, who's out in the bullpen. We won't talk to him right now, but we will during the course of the game, and we will hear from him in just a little bit. So Cal is the guy who is kind enough to wear it for us tonight. Matt Morris is the guy who is on the mound trying to pick up where Chris Carpenter left off yesterday. He's the Cardinals half of the Advanced Auto Parts pitching matchup.
He's been doing an outstanding job going deep into ball games. 4th in the National League with his 117+ innings. Leads the National League, 24 home runs allowed, but 14 ground into double plays induced. That's tied for 3rd in the National League. And he's been on a little bit of a winning track. You can follow Chris Carpenter and try and become a 9-game winner with a victory here today.
That's right. Through all of the ups and downs this season, Matt Morris has won 8. His ERA 4.36. The Southwest Airlines starting lineup: Ryan Friel, who's been hot, Barry Larkin, D'Angelo Jimenez, Ken Griffey Jr., Adam Dunn, Jason LaRue, Jacob Cruz, Tim Hummel, and Jose Acevedo pitching and batting ninth. He has a record of 4-7. This is Ryan Friel. It seems like every team has one of these guys. A little guy that's a spark plug. And he gets a lot of hits, hitting .277 overall. Yesterday, 3 out of 4 as the Cardinals won the game over Cincinnati 4-1.
Hitting 7 straight, make it 7 straight.
1 out. Line drive caught out in left field, and we are underway. That's Marlon Anderson hauling it in, and you know that part of it. How about the rest of it? Defense brought to you by Auto Tires. We go around the horn. Anderson is in left, Jim Edmonds in center, Roger Cedeno another start. He's in right. Roland, Renteria, Womack, Pujols on the infield, and a battery of Yadier Molina and Matt Morris. Here is Barry Larkin, who told the Cincinnati Reds today, "Don't honor me at the end of the year, as I am not retiring for sure."
He shouldn't. Just elected to his 12th All-Star game, 19th season with the Reds.
That makes it 0-2.
135 years in their history, and he's in the statistically the leader in many of those categories. So he's been a great player. See his numbers.
Here's an 0-2 to Larkin. Ground ball up the middle. Womack to his right. Nice play. Good throw. 2 out. The one thing that's held back Larkin over the past couple of years is related to age, no doubt, injuries. But other than that, when he is healthy, he can still play the heck out of short, gets a lot of hits, key hits. And where the Reds were ready to honor him and retire his number and say farewell the last weekend of the season in Cincinnati, he said, "Nope, I don't think it'd be right because I am not finished for sure."
And you can't quit if you still got some game left in you.
With 2 out, nobody on, here's D'Angelo Jimenez. He takes a strike. This guy was on the waiver wire last year after being cut loose by the White Sox. The Reds picked him up, and they're thrilled they did. It's 0-2, and Matt isn't giving us any time to even talk about any first inning trouble tonight.
Good. As long as he's retiring batters, and this one Matt is facing has hit .321 in his last 29 games.
Goodbye. He didn't throw a ball the entire first inning. Matt Morris rolling in the first. We go to the bottom half. Cards come up against Acevedo. No score. Juan Acevedo is on the mound. The Cincinnati half of the Advance Auto Parts pitching matchup.
Well, he's about ready to establish career highs in virtually every category. He is a young pitcher, but he has never defeated the Cardinals. Lifetime 0-4.
Take a look at the Cardinals lineup, which will deal with Acevedo. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Tony Womack leads off, then Renteria, Albert Pujols, and Roland, the 3 All-Stars, 2, 3, and 4. Edmonds, Cedeno, Marlon Anderson, Yadier Molina, and Matt Morris pitching and batting ninth. Ken Griffey Jr. is out in center field, and we go around the horn, brought to you by Auto Tire. He is flanked by Cruz to his left, Ryan Friel to his right, Hummel, Larkin, Jimenez, Dunn on the infield. Jason LaRue, a very good, solid, everyday catcher behind the plate. And then it's Acevedo on the mound. So here we go. Tony Womack, 2 out of 4 yesterday. And you don't want to overdo it, but you look at the numbers that he has put together. A .310 average, good on base percentage, making things work in this Cardinal lineup. And you can make a strong case for him to be an all-star. You might not win the argument, but he is certainly deserving of a try to get him on that team. First pitch is a ball from Acevedo.
He has been a table setter of late and playing very good defense.
And you would have to believe that as his arm gets stronger and he gets more confident with that arm, it should take a little bit of the pressure off him defensively, and he should get better.
Yeah, sitting in 22 of his last 29 games, .355.
There's a good pitch from Acevedo, 1-2.
Acevedo pitched against the Cardinals earlier this year, and it was an early start, and he had some success in that game when the game got a little darker. I think it was a 6 o'clock start. he started making sufficient mistakes, and the Cardinals started beating on him.
Cardinals took 2 of 3 in that series. They took yesterday's game. So off to a good start against Cincinnati. 1-2 pitch. He didn't go. Womack checked the swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Acevedo is just a 15-game winner in his career. 15 and 16. And as Al mentioned, 1-5 on the road this season.
0-4 with an ERA just under 10 against the Cardinals.
Let's see what happens with a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch coming his way. Womack pops it up. The aforementioned Ken Griffey Jr. strolls back to get it. 1 out. You and I talked to Griffey before the game and went back to the last time the Reds were here, and he agreed that if he was going to hit it any place other than Cincinnati, home run number 500 in his career, he was happy it came here in St. Louis.
He made a young man very happy from Mount Carmel, Illinois, who retrieved that home run ball and didn't ask for anything. Griffey gave him a bunch of gifts that day, but yesterday really treated him special.
With 1 out, there's a foul backing out of play. Ken Griffey Jr. having to buy up to 40 seats a game for about a month, trailing him around, looking for home run number 500. Got it the last time the Reds were here. And there's his dad, longtime terrific big leaguer, Ken Griffey. A standing ovation, and it was a great moment here at Busch Stadium, one of many. The stadium only 1 more year to go. The pitch is low to Renteria. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not only is he sending that guy 4 all expense paid trips to Houston for the All-Star game, tickets to the game, he's also letting the guy shag during the home run derby. The guy's made out like a bandit by being a good guy and giving the home run ball right back to Griffey. First 2 for the Cardinals are finished. Pujols coming up.
Don't get hurt.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And they might toy with the home run derby format this year and have the members of the 500 home run club, 3 of which will start across the outfield for the National League this year, plus Rafael Palmeiro take on 4 other guys, as opposed to doing it American versus National League. With 2 out, nobody on, here is Albert. Strike 1. The numbers in the career Pujols against Acevedo, 3 out of 10. With 2 out, nobody on, Pujols takes it inside. Albert, 3 hits yesterday. His average up to 310. It's Acevedo tonight for Cincinnati. Jesus Sanchez tomorrow. Cardinals have seen him before with Florida. Pujols takes ball 2 with Rolen on deck.
Memory serves me right. We might have even seen him with the Mets. Wasn't he part of the Al Leiter deal, or I guess he didn't.
He was part of that deal. You're right.
But I guess you're right. He pitched a very good game against the Cardinals when he's with Florida.
So we'll see him tomorrow. Here's a 2-1. Albert takes a strike. Good pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And after tonight's game, the Cardinals will have Woody Williams, who has been on a roll. And has his record up to 4-4. His ERA has been falling with every start. He'll be on the mound tomorrow night for the Cardinals. Here comes a 2-2 to Albert. Is he thinking about home run number 22? He grounds it fair down the left field line, and that's going to get all the way into the corner. Albert will cruise into second with a 2-out double and be in scoring position for Rolen. Well, they talked yesterday about the combination of Scott Rolen driving in Albert Pujols more than any one guy is driving in any other guy across baseball. And as you look at this ball just stay fair, Albert has put himself in position for Mr. 80. Rolen has 80 RBIs to lead the world.
Yeah, but we're playing our 83rd game.
Well, then that means he's got to pop one here, get one later, and stay on pace.
A nice total, but he doesn't want to stay there.
With a runner at second, 2 out. Rolen takes ball high. 24 times Scott Rolen has driven in Albert Pujols, so 24 of the 80 it's been Albert spiking home plate.
And one of the reasons why Albert leads the major leagues in runs scored.
That's a statistic that is so often overlooked, and is something that, for a guy like Albert Pujols, with all the run production he provides, to remind you how dangerous an all-around player he is. Getting on base, and he can run. Throw down to second, and Pujols is able to just get back as he was wandering too far. Better throw might have had him.
Jason LaRue has committed 7 errors on the season. Get that big secondary lead, and then he didn't swing.
So we'll see if they are careful with Rolen with Edmonds on deck. 3-0 the count. That came back, strike one.
As a pitcher, sometimes it's easy to get the 3-1 pitch or the 3-0 pitch over, but once you get 3-1, you're in trouble.
That's what Rolen would like to have happen. Put Acevedo in trouble. Full count. How often do we talk about Albert Pujols not being the fastest guy, but being an aggressive, smart base runner? And when that ball was headed into the seats, Pujols was about 5 steps from third base. He will score on a hit to the outfield.
Anticipation, watch. So it's interesting when you say that. I think it's a byproduct that how infrequent do major league teams take infield anymore. So very few outfielders have strong throwing arms, and it shows up with a lot of guys scoring from second base on base hits to the outfield.
Cardinals trying to get a first inning lead. Trying to take the first 2 of this 3-game set with Cincinnati. 3-2 to Scott. Inning over, and a nasty breaking ball on 3-2. Cal Eldred will join us on the other side of this commercial break. He is ready to talk. Look at him. He's ready. No score after 1. One inning here in St. Louis. We move to the second. Cal Eldred is out in the bullpen with Marty Mason trying desperately to get some airtime tonight, but we won't even refer to Marty right now. Cal, we want to talk to you. How are you doing? I know you're dying to get into a ball game here soon, but that's the bad news. The good news is the reason why you're not pitching a lot is because your starters are going so deep into games.
Well, and you know, I can't complain about that. That means we're winning. That means we're getting Isringhausen in at the end of the game, and our 2 lefties, and that's given us a chance to win ball games.
But to be fair to you, Cal, you're a veteran. You know how to pitch. But you need work to stay sharp, and it's always that catch-22. You want to stay rested, but too much rest can be a lot of trouble, can it?
Yeah, I think that I'm learning how to deal with that. One of the things we did yesterday at the end of the ball game, been a few days since I've been on the mound, got on the mound here. Marty and I and Murph worked after the ball game through to some simulated hitters. You know, Marty stood in and let me know what was right and what was wrong. So
here's a fly ball into center. Jim Edmonds took a home run away.
I missed it.
Well, we missed a heck of a catch.
I'm going to step out here and see if I can see it on the scoreboard, fellas.
You'll want to see it on the scoreboard, but a high towering fly ball allowed him to just drift back, time his jump, go over the yellow stripe, and pull the ball back in. Just an excellent play, but plenty of time to scale the wall because there's such a high towering fly ball. Very nice play.
How'd you like that, Cal?
Well, as many home runs as I've given up in my career, I love those kind of plays.
And you know, Matt Morris is thinking, I just dodged a bullet there. What a fantastic catch by Jim Edmonds and the Cincinnati Reds, who saw two beauties last year in Cincinnati, have to be thinking, what do we have to do?
Well, that's another thing right there. You know you're going to be talking about that play in the 8th or 9th ball game.
Absolutely.
Cal, you were talking about the inactivity, and I got to pay you a compliment. There's some guys that just complain. There's other guys like you that do not, and then just find ways to stay sharp because nobody wants to hear that excuse.
Yeah, you know, that it's more than I've had before, and it's something that I need to be good at. So it's something that these guys, it's not an easy thing to do, but the better I am at it, the more effective the team's going to be. I'm going to be able to throw some innings when we don't have to use Kiko and Tavares, and they're going to be sharp and not be overused. So, you know, everybody has their own role, and there's no excuses. When you're ready to go out on the mound, you want to get people out, and you have to get people out.
Here's a pitch that drives LaRue off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a runner at first, 1 out. That runner is Griffey, who was there and had a good view of Edmonds taking a home run away from Adam Dunn, who's number 2 in the National League with 24 home runs. Jacob Cruz will follow Jason LaRue. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Left side, base hit. There's a big catch by Edmonds. Now it's 2 on with 1 out. There was an article today in the paper about the camaraderie in the clubhouse with your team, Cal, and I think you have to be awfully pleased with the kind of group you have in there. And it's an interesting mix because you've got guys really from all over the map, guys who I think if you charted what they did at night would be all doing all different things, but when you're all put together in the same room, it seems like you guys have a nice mix going right now.
Yeah, and you know, it's something that even though sometimes ball clubs can't help but have clicks, but I think the clicks that we have here are really, if there are clicks, you have the relievers, you have our starting pitchers that pay attention to each other and help each other a lot, and it really, you know, it really helps the ball club.
Here's a shot into the left field corner that'll score 1 and put Cincinnati on top. It's a double for Cruz, an RBI double. The only out of the inning is the Edmonds catch in center. Now it's 2nd and 3rd, 1 out for Tim Hummel. We'll take another look at this shot down the line as Griffey comes home to score. He led off the inning with a base hit into right, and a nice piece of hitting by Cruz, Al, to go the other way and place it down the line.
Interesting thing there is Molina was moving his glove down and into the left-handed hitter, so it really kind of golfed and sliced that ball off the bat into the left field corner, and now they're going to intentionally pass Hummel.
So an intentional walk to load the bases with 1 out, and it will bring up Acevedo, the pitcher. You can go back to last year, Cal, and I think it's easy to forget at this point how big a role you played for the Cardinals last year. And the team didn't finish that far out of first. You got a taste to do a little bit of everything out of the bullpen after being a starter for the majority of your career. How'd you like closing games, and what do you think of the bullpen overall compared to starting?
Well, I think that if you're going to be in the bullpen, I think closing games is the funnest thing to do. I'll probably be the first one to admit that I don't necessarily have closer stuff, but you know, last year we were in a position where we needed somebody to fill in, and I was able to do it there for a short period of time. But about our bullpen now is the fact that our closer is here, and he's healthy, and he's been able to do the job for us, and that sets us all up with having Ray and Kleiner from the left side is awesome, and everybody knows that Tavares has been a good, excellent setup right-hander for a lot of years, and I think Kiko's thrown the ball extremely well this year. He's only had a couple bad outings. Other than that, he's been doing great. So it's something that I think that's where I'm kind of caulking down here. You fill in where we need somebody. Somebody needs a day off. That's my role down here. But you know, it's the closer role is a role to have. But all the other roles, you have to have guys that are willing to do it.
You're caulk that can talk. Because of that, I'm going to ask you, with the pitcher up and the bases loaded, how you would go about trying to get this out right here?
Well, I think what Matt's just done is, you know, he wanted your pitchers most of the time are going to be aggressive if they see that first pitch fastball, a lot like other hitters. And so a lot of times Matt has such a good breaking ball, make him hit the breaking ball, but he knows if he has to, he gets behind in the count, he'll come with that heater like that.
Well, you've nailed it on your first piece of analysis, and now you can't see your pitching coach. Nobody in the world can see your pitching coach right now. He's tucked behind the camera with a unique view. I don't think I've ever seen him stand back.
We have, and the only time he sits there is when he thinks that Matt Morris is tipping pitches. But I had Jeff Bagwell tell me when Matt Morris won 22 games, he tipped his pitches too. But he had 2 pitches, and it was an exceptional fastball and exceptional curveball, and they couldn't hit him.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Acevedo. How'd you put him away, Cal?
Well, I think right now, 1 and 2, he's got a couple chances to bounce his breaking ball, but he also has swung at a high pitch here, so he might go high, but curveball's probably the pitch. Well,
missed with a breaking ball. Do you guys have the confidence in Molina that you have in Matheny at blocking a 2-strike pitch in the dirt with a guy at third?
Well, I think we're gaining that confidence. I don't think pitchers can have any more confidence than any other catcher besides Mike Matheny bouncing a breaking ball. But Molina is definitely gaining that confidence.
Well, Acevedo gets the job done. He gets a sac flying to left to make it 2-0. The Reds double their lead, and if you're Morris, it's bittersweet. You give up a run, you get it out. Now try to keep this a 2-run inning. It's 2-0 Cincinnati, and back to the top of the order, Ryan Friel. You talked about Mike Matheny. I know the two of you are very good friends, and he's one of the big reasons why prior to last season you even thought about coming to St. Louis, right?
Yeah, Mike, Mike and I are pretty close, and I let him in on the fact that I was thinking about coming back to play because my arm didn't feel like it was going to fall apart anymore. And he thought that St. Louis may be a spot where I'd have a chance to make the team in some facet. And it ended up working out. So, I owe Mike a lot more than just, bringing me to St. Louis. But, when we've worked a lot together, and I think both of us were looking forward to having an opportunity to do that.
Well, I know this. I know you'll be a big part of this Cardinals season before it's over, and we wish you all the best. You're a class guy, and a real credit to your bullpen mates out there, because let's face it, half of them are insane.
Yeah, I think that everybody has a guy that's part of a group to bring up the GPA.
Well, so, you're definitely the guy. Congratulations.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm that guy, but
I promise you are. A good
I'm not sure if I'm that guy, but I'll take the odds.
Now you can't see it, but we've got Woody Williams who's over there studying Matt Morris. Al, I'm glad you brought that up. They're over there looking at Matt Morris, and Woody is trying to look too to see if Morris is tipping his pitches. Here comes a 2-2 pitch to Ryan Friel, and Friel just gets a piece of it. Is it real quick, and hopefully the inning will end here shortly. Tipping pitches is something that I know you guys worry about a lot, don't you?
Yeah, it's something that especially the Reds have a few guys, veteran guys in their club, and they've seen Matt throw a lot. And that's something that you can get in a habit. We try to make our mechanics as the same every time, but sometimes you can get in a bad habit.
That drives Friel off the plate, but the count's 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the runners will go with Barry Larkin waiting on deck, and the Reds on top 2-0.
On the other side of that, I think a guy like Gaylord Perry put it in the minds of all hitters that he was going to had a spitter and was going to throw it.
Breaking ball is hammered into left field. It stayed up. 1 run will score. Anderson makes a nice play on it. The other runner they hold, that's Hummel, and it's 3-0 Cincinnati. Cal, before we are accused of, I don't know, doing something to mess with the biorhythms of this game, and as superstitious as guys are, we're just going to say thanks for your time, and you're a good man, and we're rooting for you up here, so thanks for joining us tonight.
I appreciate it, guys. Really do.
All right, that's Cal Eldred, and we look at this breaking ball, Al, that stayed up a little too long.
Well, I mean, you can't say this is because you're tipping a pitch. You can say it's because it's a terrible hanging breaking ball. And any hitter can adjust to that. When the ball is up in their eyes, they know it's not a fastball. You see him put the foot down, but the hands stay back and react to it. But I was going to say, like Gaylord Perry got so much mileage because he made everybody think he was going to throw a Vaseline ball or spitter every pitch, and then you throw your normal pitches, and they're saying, well, I see it here, but bottom's going to fall out, and then the bottom didn't fall out. You can think too much out there.
Now it's 1st and 3rd with 2 out. It's been a good inning for Cincinnati. And Matt Morris is dealing with Larkin. Barry had a hit taken away on a good play by Womack to his right, his first time up.
Joe, you remember Matt's first inning, didn't throw a ball, right?
Right.
Sometimes you throw way too many strikes.
Larkin waits for an 0-1 pitch. 1st and 3rd, 2 out. Step to 3rd, look to 1st. Well, the Cardinals will have to get through this and go to work in the bottom of the inning with Edmonds, Cedeno, and Anderson coming up. A total of 8 pitches in the 1st inning. 25 here in the 2nd. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Morris working in his contract year, trying to get it all together. His ERA at 4.36, but as we mentioned, still an 8-game winner. As that pitch is down, throw to 1st, too late. Molina had a shot to help Morris get out of this inning, but the throw did not get there in time to get free.
Pujols alert to it, gets it, but good look there. Good camera work by our crew. See that he got the hand back in safely.
Here's a 2-1 to Larkin instead. A step to 3rd, look to 1st. Watch out for the All-Star at the plate swinging the bat.
12-time All-Star. It's 3rd best in their franchise history.
A great history at that. Should end the inning. Womack. The Reds get 3. How many could it have been? Jim Edmonds took a home run away from Adam Dunn. Got the 1st out of the inning. One of the best of the year. We go into the bottom of the 2nd. Cincinnati gets 3. They lead at 3-0. We want to hear from you. Log on to www.stlcardinals.com. Tell us what you think of tonight's broadcast. Look for this graphic and let your thoughts be heard. Unless your name is Jason Patrick and you're watching from Los Angeles or New York or somewhere, I don't want to hear from you. But everybody else, chime in and tell us what you think of us interviewing players during the course of the game. The problem is, oh great, we love doing it. The bad thing is when the other team's making noise and scoring runs. But hopefully the Cards can come right back. It's Edmonds leading off, took the home run away, and now he swings and misses. Strike 1.
Jim's had good success against this pitcher. 8 for 12 with 2 home runs. He's already taken away a home run. Maybe he can add 1 to his own total.
Here's an 0-1 into center field. You go get it, Ken Griffey Jr. Almost went too far. 1 out.
And that sinking line drive out there, a lot of top spin. Joe, the St. Louis wives, Cardinal wives, and the Coleman survivors are thrilled to announce that they raised over $38,000 for the St. Louis affiliate of the Susan B. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. So a special thank you to all Cardinal fans for their generous donation at yesterday's game. You know, you're very big with Susan B. Komen Breast Cancer.
The work that they do is unbelievable. That's into right center field. Cedeno's got a double. With 1 out, he may think about 3. It'll coast into second with a 2-base hit. It is an amazing day in June when they have their walk/run and the money that they raise. Over 50,000 people in downtown St. Louis, and they just keep on adding to the total, which is great.
And you see the pitch. Now this is 3 hits and 10 tries for Cedeno, who's still waiting to find out about his appeal of his suspension.
The justices took the 4th of July weekend off.
Well, they took it off, but then we figured he would hear today, but now I guess somebody else took a vacation.
Maybe the person who actually makes the call.
Yeah, like Bob Watson.
Here's Marlin. Anderson grounds to the second baseman. Almost got through the wicket. But Jimenez got down and got it. 2 out, and it's going to be up to Yadier Molina if the Cardinals are going to take advantage of that 1-out double by Cedeno. Don't forget about the Batter's Eye Club, Busch Stadium's most popular premium area. Still several good dates remaining in August and September. All-you-can-eat buffet, unlimited beer and soda, great view from field level, a great way to entertain, or the perfect gift idea. You can purchase individual tickets in the Batter's Eye Club. You do not have to be part of a group, but that works too. 425-0600 for more info.
I got some seats available for this Cup Series if you're interested.
Really?
Yeah.
Standing room. Always holding
standing
seats.
Room only, but I got some special ones for you.
Here's a strike on the outside corner to Molina.
I'd like to go to Homer's Landing. Tickets available for Friday night and Saturday. Homer's Landing includes a pregame buffet and great seats in Lowe's Reserve Section 276.
Cardinals need a 2-out hit. Good breaking ball from Acevedo. It's 0-2.
It won't last long, so call group sales at 314-425-0600. Everything is standing room only for the Cub Series, so that's the only way to get some seats for Friday or Saturday. Homer's Landing.
Here's an 0-2. Wasted up and away. A few scouts in attendance here tonight as you look down in their little section behind home plate. Wonder who they are here to watch. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Molina takes ball 2.
Former Reds owner, sorry to see that she passed away, but Marge Schott criticized the Reds because they had all these scouts. All they do is watch baseball games.
To the shortstop, Barry Larkin gathers it in, throws out Molina, and the Cardinals can't do anything with a 1-out double by Cedeno. It's an uphill climb tonight, 3-0 Cincy after 2. A special time here in St. Louis and out at Bellerive Country Club at the end of July and through the first day of August. The 2004 U.S. Senior Open, and the general chairman of the event, Jerry Ritter, has been kind enough to join us here and give us an update about how tickets are going. What do you think so far? Are we close to a sellout here?
Joe, we've have 25,000 tickets that have been issued at this point in time. We have a couple of thousand remaining. Only 2.5 weeks until the event. And you know how tickets are at the last few minutes before an event of this nature. And we think they'll be gone very, very shortly. So I would advise all of your listeners, if they are interested in attending this event, and it's going to be the greatest golf championship we've seen in St. Louis in 12 years.
It's basically a who's who, and it's a Hall of Fame come to life out on a golf course at Bellerive with the names you have coming in.
When you see Arnold Palmer out there, you see Gary Player.
That ball's down the line and might drop. Instead, it's Marlon Anderson with a nice running catch. Good start to the inning, 1 out.
But local folks like Jay Haas, he's new on the tour, senior tour, just eligible for it. It will be with us, as will Hale Irwin, who's a local person, sure. as is Tom Watson, who's from the Missouri area.
Well, so you've got that list, and I always ask about volunteers. I know you have. You can always use more volunteers, but it's amazing the way this city, when an event happens, how people come out of the woodwork to come help and put on a St. Louis type event.
Joe, we have 2,900 volunteers. It's unbelievable.
Look out, Matt. Ken Griffey Jr.'s on with a 1-out hit back through the box.
It's unbelievable the interest we've had in being volunteers and serving the St. Louis community and really putting on a good show so that we can show off St. Louis, Bellerive, and just show the golf fans of St. Louis what a great opportunity this is to see the wonderful golfers that have been around for so long.
Now, when you get the specifications on the golf course, I know you can make Bellerive as long as you want to. Are people going to see these guys really tested by the golf course?
I think Bellerive will give any pro group, whether it's a senior group or a regular group, a test. 7,100 yards is no short golf course, and as you know, Bellerive can be relatively tight. The rough can be relatively long, and it can be a real test of golf for any level of golfer in the United States.
Adam Dunn took a strike, now a ball. 1 on, 1 out. Griffey's on after a base hit, and it's Dunn up now with Jason LaRue waiting to hit next. I know we flashed a number, we gave information, but for the last couple thousand tickets, how do people go about getting tickets for the event?
You can log on to metrotix.com, or you can call MetroTix at area code 314-534-1111.
5-3-4, 11-11 as Dunn takes outside, and the count goes to 3 balls and a strike, and Morris is in a struggle here tonight. Jay Haas, I would imagine, with all the local flavor and a guy who's fresh onto this tour, he's only played in a couple of events, has got to be considered one of the favorites going in.
I don't believe many people realize that Jay is now eligible for the senior tour. He just became eligible a few weeks ago. Played his first round on the senior tour with the PGA and finished very respectably. And I think we'll find that he's going to be a real contender on the senior tour.
What if you end up with a week pass, or however you sell the tickets, and maybe that's another question for you, but when does it start? Is there Pro-Am? Do they get to see any of that, or is this just strictly for the days of golf, or when does that start?
Joe, there's no Pro-Am with any of the major championships, and this is the premier championship on the senior tour.
They just picked off Griffey. Ken Griffey Jr. with a count of 3-2 on Dunn may have been leaning, and he gets picked off here for the second out here in the top of the 3rd inning. So maybe that'll help Matt Morris get through this inning. As you see Griffey start, oops, got to get back, and he couldn't. So that's out number 2, and here comes a 3-2 pitch instead. Time. So it starts when, on a Thursday or Friday?
Starts on the practice rounds start on a Monday, the 26th, and it will be completed on Sunday, 7 days later, when the final of the 4 rounds of the major championship will be completed. And that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the championship. The 3 earlier days in the week are for practice rounds.
Here's Dunn lifting one into right field, down into the corner for Cedeno. And right up against the wall he has it. Jerry Ritter, good luck. 5-3-4, 11-11 and MetroTix.com.
Thank you very much.
End of July into the first day of August. The U.S. Senior Open out at Belle Reve. You should be out there and join in the fun. 3-0 after 2.5.
You need a pencil. Yearbooks aren't in there.
Listen to him all night. Do you need a pencil? Al, do you need a pencil?
No, I don't.
Here's Matt Morris. He takes a strike in at the knees, and we are to work in the bottom of the 3rd. 3-0 Cincinnati. It's Morris, Womack, and Renteria. Reds got all their runs in the 2nd. Morris missed it by plenty. 0-2. Matt this season is 5 out of 35. Trying to get something started. Cardinals have a 2-out double by Pujols in the 1st, a 1-out double by Cedeno in the 2nd. That's it. On 0-2, Morris strikes out. That's the 2nd strikeout for Jose Acevedo, and back to the top of the order. Tony Womack as Woody Williams and Dave Duncan chat. Tomorrow the St. Louis Cardinals are back after Ken Griffey Jr. and the Reds. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Cardinals Tonight right here on Fox Sports Net. With 1 out, Womack, who flied to center his first time, bats with the infielders pinched in at the corners. Ball 1 outside. As impressive as the 309 average is updated, the patience on the part of Tony Womack has been outstanding as a leadoff hitter, something he has really worked on this year as he slaps at it, fouls it out of play.
And Tony Womack, sometimes his critics say that his on-base percentage isn't high enough, but the Cardinals, that has been something he's worked at, and it has improved.
Count even, a ball and a strike. If you regard the Cubs as the Cardinals' chief competition in the NL Central, you'll be happy to know that the Brewers lead 4-0 after 2 at home over the Cubs after winning 1-0 behind Ben Sheets yesterday.
How about that? A first inning home run.
And that's it. 3-1 on Womack.
Counsell hit that one in the first inning, and it held up with outstanding pitching by Ben Sheets. And They're a much improved club. They're not going away either, are they?
No. Even the Pirates, they're the hottest team in baseball right now. 3-1 pitch is popped up. Left side, it might get out of play. Long run. Reel is there. Nice play. Had to come a long way to get it. And that's out number 2.
He went a long way on that earlier pop-up, and here this time the ball stays in the ballpark, and he makes a nice play up against the railing.
And the batter will be Renteria. Cardinals start the game 4 games up on the Cubs in the Central Division, but it gets a lot better after that. The Reds are 6 out, Milwaukee 7, and Houston is 8 out. They lost the game in the 8th inning yesterday, and unless they make an addition to that team, Beltran or not, they are going to miss Dotel. That's into left center field, and Griffey takes care of Renteria. We go to the 4th. 3-0. Reds on top. This Schnucks date in baseball history, we go back to July 6, 1929. The Cardinals scored 10 in the first and 5th innings, beating the Phillies 28-6. That set a National League record at the time back in 1929. That's about the time they had a guy named Ruth who was hitting home run after home run after home run, and toward the tail end of when nobody else was hitting home runs.
There's a little cutie there, and along those lines we want to send a very, very special and speedy recovery to our little girlfriend Madison Slogel. Madison, you get well. Those doctors took good care of you. Now Mom and Dad are going to take even better care of you, and we'll get you back out the ballpark very, very soon.
That's from me as well. Here's a ground ball foul outside third for our good buddy Kurt Schlogel, his wife, and little Madison. Batter is LaRue, and the count's no balls, 2 strikes. Even the little ones are dressed in red as LaRue foul tips it. Molina couldn't come up with it. It's still 0-2. Now that's a good looking little trio right there.
Yeah, if you come to a Cardinal game, you wear your red.
Here's an 0-2 pitch. LaRue took it just outside as Morris tried to drill that corner. Ball 1.
It helps when you're playing the Reds too.
Really can't lose.
No.
You cannot lose.
Walk away a winner one way or the other.
1 ball, 2 strikes. LaRue hitting .230 is out of the way of a pitch inside. 2-2. The Reds this season have had a flair for the dramatic. Just like last year, they've had the tendency to win a lot of games late. When they come into this game, I think it would be in the category of surprisingly. 6 games over the 500 mark at 44-38. They're 14th in the league in batting average, 15th in ERA as a team. Yet they're 44-38. They're not that great defensively either. 9th in team fielding percentage.
Well, you know, it's amazing that Cardinals may have caught a huge break by not playing them early. They were leading the Central Division for quite a while. Injuries kept on mounting. They're not pitching as well as they were earlier in the season. Offense maybe slowed a little bit. Casey's on the disabled list. Kearns has been almost non-existent. I think they played something like 8 innings with their projected lineup all season long.
Here's the 2-2. So really, when everybody talks about all the injuries that have hit the Central Division, they say the Cubs and the Astros with Pettit and others. You got to consider Cincinnati in that group as well.
I said 8 innings. How about only 9 outs?
LaRue rips it foul down the left field line.
This season, the Reds' projected opening day starting lineup of Jason LaRue, Sean Casey, D'Angelo Jimenez, Brandon Larson, Barry Larkin, Adam Dunn, Ken Griffey Jr., and Austin Kearns has played together just 9 outs, all on April 26th.
Must have been a great day. There's a base hit into left field, another hanging breaking ball, and Jason LaRue is on to start the 4th. LaRue's 2 for 2, and the Reds have been hitting Matt Morris hard tonight.
And there you see the pitch that really slows down and stays up instead of starting bell tie and then the bottom falling out 12-6. That one starts up above the shoulders and then breaks, you know, about waist high or even higher, but it slows down the action, and it almost looks like Matt is short arming the ball, not reaching out, finishing off the pitch.
This could help. 1, 6, 3. Nicely turned from Morris to Renteria onto Pujols, 2 out. And that was a good stop by Matt Morris on a sharply hit ball.
Sharply hit ball, but he gets that nice hop that's up there, you know, where you really, your glove is in that 6-inch circle where you don't have to have much movement.
Base is empty for Tim Hummel. Strike 1.
Potentially passed, but in the last 16 games he's hit .375.
1 ball, 1 strike. Absolutely no relation that we know of with Rick Hummel, a longtime Cardinal beat writer for the Post-Dispatch. Now in the category of special correspondent. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Tim. Commish Jr.
Is that a promotion or demotion?
I would consider it a promotion. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the inning is over. Matt Morris gave up that leadoff hit, got a double play ball, then strikes out. His second of the night. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Heart of the order coming up. 3-0 Cincinnati. Be the Southwest Airlines family of the game and sit in the special Southwest Airlines suite at Busch Stadium. Send a postcard to P.O. Box 771192. St. Louis Mo 63177. There is an Al Raboski fan, and there is a plate of nachos.
That's scary.
Congratulations, Al. Leading it off in the bottom of the 4th inning with the Reds up 3-0. Albert Pujols with Scott Rowland to follow, and then Jim Edmonds. Cardinals need to get to work. They have not done much against Jose Acevedo. A pair of doubles, a 2-out double by the guy at the plate in the 1st, and then a 1-out double by Cedeno in the 2nd, and that is it. Good breaking ball from Acevedo, who has had the better of the 2 breaking balls between the 2 starting pitchers tonight.
He really has. He's thrown an awful lot of good breaking balls. They've been down and off the plate. Here's another one.
On 0-1. Bad bounces. 1 ball, 1 strike. We keep talking about the good defensive catchers, and clearly Mike Matheny is our favorite. Brad Ausmus is another guy that we really enjoy watching him play, but I think this LaRue is a close third. He is a solid everyday rock back there for Cincinnati as a fastball sneaks in there. It's 1-2. John Mabry did a little work behind the plate today.
Hey, get to that stage. If you could add receiver to your resume, you can pile on a few more years. Emergency catcher.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and I guess if you're going to watch a game then, and you have to watch it with somebody, you might as well watch it with Mike Matheny and learn even more. Albert leading it off, hitting .312. 4 out of 5 in this series. Reaches up, pokes it into right. Back to get it is Cruz, 1 out. Pretty good ride the opposite way, but 1 down here in the 4th. We have proof. We don't just say things on Fox Sports Net. That can't be Mabry. Look at those arms.
Oh, Jeff Murphy's having fun. Torture him. Take a couple foul balls off those arms, and you'll be wearing sleeves.
Here's Scott Rowland. Ball 1 low.
But seriously, you know, if Mabes could, you know, just have gained the confidence to be the 3rd catcher, you know, he can stick around and fulfill a role for quite a while.
Roland takes ball 2. He was either learning how to catch or he's trying out for a Village People reunion band. A tribute band put together.
I think he's learning to catch.
You think?
Yes.
With 1 out, nobody on, 2 balls, no strike.
And wouldn't let him join the revival band.
Just a tribute band. You can't match the magic of the original, but you can pay tribute. Here comes a 2-0 pitch with 1 out. Roland grounds one through the left side, and he's on with a 1-out knock. Down to first base for Jim Edmonds. Struck out his first time up with Pujols at second. And now comes through with a base hit to hopefully get something started in the 4th. Edmonds, his first time flying to center, a sinking line drive that was caught by Ken Griffey Jr.
Which one of Oakland's big 3 is number 75?
Zito.
That's what I thought. He wasn't Zito-ish today.
He's had a terrible year. Mulder's been great. Hudson's on the DL, and Zito has not been good.
Boston leading 11-0
behind Wakefield. They're in the market for starting pitching. The Boston Red Sox. Who isn't?
Yeah, but is it too late? Because now it appears they only have the wild card to go out.
8 games out at the start of the day in the NL East, or AL East rather. In the NL East, that's interesting. Edmonds lays off. He didn't go. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Mets lead at Philadelphia 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th, and the Mets are only 3 out behind first place Philadelphia.
After sweeping the Yankees at home. Cardinals only 1 game away from tying the win total of the Yankees and the best record in baseball.
1 on, 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike. Edmonds has hit 16 home runs this year, spins away from ball 2. The other race is the AL Central. Minnesota only a half-game lead over Chicago, and the Indians are only 5 out. The NL West, San Diego leads by a half game over the Giants and 1 over the Dodgers. Everywhere you look except the AL East, it's a great race. 2-1. Edmonds takes ball 3 with Cedeno on deck.
Acevedo's track record is that he'll pitch very well, and then he'll end up giving some home runs in his final inning or so.
He's in the category then of a frustrating, talented starter. He just can't yet put it all together. Here's a 3-1. Edmonds walks. 2 on with 1 out. That is the first walk issued by Acevedo.
One thing, good sign for him. He walks very few.
So Acevedo will deal with Cedeno, who doubled into right center field back in the 2nd.
Cedeno's done a nice job in sparingly play. And a double here would make it pretty nice.
That's ball 1.
Looks like these guys are getting a better look at that breaking ball this time around.
Now a new baseball for the pitcher. 2 young people that join us up here in the booth, Amanda Bell and Jay Hubert, who are the Jack Buck Scholarship winners at Southeast Missouri State.
Isn't that unbelievable?
That's fantastic. We as a family are honored to be a part of that, and we're thankful that it's 2 good young people that have it, despite the way you're trying to corrupt them between innings. Here's a 1-0 to Cedeno. There's a good pitch on the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm just trying to make sure they're worthy enough this scholarship, and so far they are.
It's okay to have fun when you're in school, Al, but schoolwork comes first. At least that's the way we want it with the Jack Buck Scholarship Award. Come on. Roland the lead runner, then Edmonds the trail guy at first. 1 out. Pretty good by Cedeno. 2 balls and a strike.
Bill Welke, the home plate umpire, not giving much on the inside part of the plate. Been consistent though.
Cedeno could come up with a big hit for the Cardinals here. Count in his favor. On the outside corner, 2-2. On deck is Marlon Anderson. Cardinals have a game tomorrow night with Cincinnati, an off day on Thursday, and then they host the Cubs over the weekend. That's right, the Cubs. I don't think the Cardinals have seen them for 4 or 5 days. 2-2 pitch. Full count. And now the question, do you start the runners? I am going to say they won't. But you could.
Not a big strikeout man. You sure could. Jimmy, you got a nursing a tender left groin. Roland's got the knee.
They are not going, and Cedeno rips it into the corner. Roger Cedeno delivers. Roland lumbers home. Edmonds will hold at third, and it's a 2-run Cincinnati lead. Second and third, 1 out. Cedeno with a pair of doubles. Should have started the runners out.
Should have started. I thought the same thing. See 3-2 right now, but set up away. Look at the glove reaching to the middle of the plate and laced into the right field corner. Scott Rowland, that tender knee a little bit. It only bothers him when he runs. Jim Edmonds was running pretty well, but with 1 out, you don't want to run into an out. Should be able to get that man home for third with less than 2 outs. Maybe Marlon Anderson can tie it with a base hit.
That's what's sitting out there for Marlon. His first time, he took the first pitch and grounded out to second. Even that would get a run home. A breaking ball for a strike from Acevedo. Six out of 8 times in this situation, Anderson has delivered the runner from third.
Playing back on the right side, so just pulling a ball on the ground should get a run home too.
On the inside corner, and there's that pitch he said Acevedo wasn't getting. He does here, and it comes at a good time for the Reds. It's 0-2.
And I think that was the first one he has received in the last couple. It was very similar to the one that that Edmonds walked on.
Got to put it in play. Still 0-2. MRI revealed today that for Scott Rowland, as we saw him gimping around third base and scoring, he has irritation in the joint in that left knee.
Joe, with the technology that they have available today, that, I mean, that's probably the best news you could find, because they've got to find something.
Here's another 0-2 pitch. Anderson stays up there. They say they have injections available that would cushion the knee, but for now, Rowland is staying away from it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe on Sunday afternoon you get that injection.
Marlon Anderson in a battle with Jose Acevedo. Second and third, 1 out, 0-2. Into center field. That'll get a run home. Back is Griffith. It's a 1-run game. Cedeno goes to third. Anderson delivers to make it 3-2. Good at bat after falling behind 0-2.
Well, it's one thing about this ball club. You know, there were times when, not this year, but previous years, when they fall behind by 3 runs, you knew the game was basically over. But not this team. They keep on battling you. They keep on scratching, clawing, pecking away. And we got the arms to keep somebody in check, too. They're going to intentionally pass Molina.
This will put it up to Morris. But we're only in the 4th inning, and the Cardinals can start fresh. The worst case scenario in the 5th, the top of the order. This will put runners on at first and third. Albert Pujols has been working that dugout, trying to inspire his teammates. Definitely a leader on this ball club, as Yadier Molina will get one of the few walks of his big league career.
Winning is fun. Getting your team in position for it. Just everybody has a ball doing it. And I like this idea for the Cardinals.
Morris coming up. All fans on Friday. The Cardinals take on the Cubs. All fans 11 and under with a paid admission receive a coupon good for a cave tour and a boat ride at Merrimack Caverns. Merrimack Caverns about an hour away from St. Louis down Highway 44. Friday, also Big Mac Land bonus night for tickets. More information on Friday night against the Cubs. 421-3060 or stlcardinals.com. Matt Morris has driven home 4 runs this season. If he gets a hit here, he'll tie it. Good rip.
Ooh. As you said, at the very least, you get Matt Morris out of the way and you can start building next inning.
And that last swing and the pitch, exactly what Cal Eldred talked about earlier in the night. A pitcher will get aggressive, and if he sees a first pitch fastball, go after it.
That's right.
Here's an 0-1. Ball 1 strike.
I think also Dave Miley, a young manager at the big leagues, and he truly deserved this opportunity to manage the Reds, but criticized for not walking a couple guys with the base open yesterday, a couple of the big guys.
That's a squirter back to Acevedo, and the Cardinals get 2. But they're back in the game.
Back in the game is all you can ask for.
Cardinals get 2 on 3 hits, a couple of walks, lead 2, and after 4, 3-2.
Let's take a look at Jim Edmonds bringing the ball back into the playing field. It's off the bat of Adam Dunn. Goes back, scales the wall, plants his foot up there, gets over the fence, and maintains his balance. There was a runner at first base, so it was important for him to stay on his feet, and kept Ken Griffey Jr. at first base. So already Jim Edmonds has made a nifty play in this ball game, and Cardinals are back in it after getting 2 behind Matt, and they trail 3-2 going to the 5th inning.
So let's see how Morris gets along with Acevedo, Friel, and Larkin. The Cardinals in the bottom of the inning will have the top of the order. Cards have been out, hit 6-4, and Acevedo hit a sac fly in the left field his first time up. Had a pretty good at bat against Morris. Takes a strike and at the knees, and we're underway in the 5th.
Sac fly is the difference of the ball game right now.
Acevedo leading off. Little squirter. Molina will take it. 1 out. 1 away as Acevedo's gone, and Friel will bat. I want to say a special hello to Jim Rudolph, Margie Rudolph. They're watching Cardinal baseball as they do night after night down in the Lake of the Ozarks. Their daughter Kelly Van Dyke and little baby Haley, but the guy they're waiting to see is Jamie Van Dyke, who was in the Navy and stationed over near Iraq. And we are all thinking about that family, and Jim runs the boathouse at the Lodge of the Four Seasons down in the Ozarks. A great guy, and I'm sure he is unwinding after a hectic weekend last weekend. That had to be a zoo. Here's a strike over the inside corner.
Got a letter from a Cardinal faithful, 61 years of age, Dan Nolan from Bull Shoals, Arkansas, right down there at Lake Bull Shoals. Can't believe it. He says a fact he's not proud of, and he hopes to remedy soon, but he said he's never been to a Cardinals game, never been to a professional baseball game, let alone a Cardinal game. Come on, Dan, come on up, come up and see us.
Here comes a 1-1 to Ryan Friel with 1 out, nobody on. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 2. Friel spins out of it. With 1 out, the base is empty. Friel hits it off the end of the bat foul. Friel with an RBI single his last time up. Flied out to left, but hit it pretty good his first time. On 1 and 2, Friel rips it foul. Dave Duncan is still down in that unusual spot. He's usually on the other side of the railing and the step area down into the dugout watching his pitchers, but with Morris he is trying to get the best batter's view he can get of Morris, the best angle to see if he's tipping anything. That's in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If he pulls a Bobby Valentine and wears eye black for a mustache and puts a hat and sunglasses on and sits behind the plate, then we've got a story. Here he's only about 15 feet to his left. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Real takes outside.
Sometimes it's how a pitcher will cock his wrist, signifying what it is. Sometimes he'll take the sign with his hands at the waist for a fastball, higher up or lower for the breaking ball.
There's a better breaking ball for strike 3, and that's strike out number 3 for Morris tonight. 2 out.
I just think he just got into a rut there in the second inning where he gave up 4 hits.
For your next big adventure with family and friends to the ballpark, Ford Excursion now with $4,000 cash back or 1.9% APR financing for 60 months plus 100 gallons of gas. Bring your neighborhood to the game. Only at your quality Ford stores. Your home run to Cardinal baseball fun. Here is Larkin. There's ball 1 low. You remember Larkin, who's headed back to the All-Star game. He is the guy who took over the shortstop position during the All-Star game for our beloved Ozzie Smith.
And he's tied Ozzie for 12 appearances in the All-Star game. He's 3rd on their all-time list. Johnny Bench with 15 appearances and Pete Rose with 13.
He really is a mix of kind of that old style shortstop and the newer style. Ozzie Smith, a tremendous glove defensive shortstop, obviously became a very good hitter, but the smaller body, and then the bigger body like Cal Ripken Jr., who was a trendsetter there, or A-Rod, or even Jeter. Some of the big guys that man that position. Larkin kind of has a little bit of all of it. Breaking ball, grounds to Rolen. Bad hop. Rolen sticks with it. And a 1-2-3 inning for Morris. We go to the bottom of the 5th, halfway through it. Cardinals will have the top of the order, trying to do something about a 3-2 Reds lead. Our hot pitch of the game brought to you by Hardee's, and we look at that better, tighter breaking ball to get Ryan Freel for the 2nd out the last half inning.
But Joe, not only is it tighter, but watch where it starts out. Is it, breaks down, but it's on that downward plane. It just has a much sharper tilt to it. You see the spin there, the dot.
Freel became the 3rd strikeout victim for Morris, and now the Cardinals can start fresh. Womack first up, top of the order. Ball 1 from Acevedo, and you know the Reds will keep a close eye on Acevedo. If you're Cincinnati and you come into this series, you've got the hot Woody Williams pitching against you tomorrow, and you start tonight's game 6 out. You've got to look at a game like tonight with the All-Star break coming up at the end of the week is a game you've got to go all out and try and win after you get a 3-0 early lead. You don't want to fall 7 out with another game in the series to go. You could be dunked here before the All-Star break hits. You wearing a cat suit under that uniform top?
A cat suit?
Look at that. It's shiny. It's tight. It's a cat suit.
Leftover from Catwoman?
Catwoman, yes. Borrowed from
Haley?
the lovely. Yes. Halle Berry. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Womack into right field, but Cruz back to get it. Wow. Pretty well hit. But Womack's 0 for 3. Renteria will bat. The base is empty, 1 down. One of those early in-season trades, the Seattle Mariners trading Freddie Garcia to the Chicago White Sox. This was rewarded with a 3-year, $27 million contract, so he gets $9 million a year with the White Sox.
Well, he was very close with Ozzie Guillen, and I saw where his fiance really grew up and sounded like it was reared in the family by Ozzie Guillen's wife.
Renteria takes the ball.
He had an inside track.
No doubt. Edgar's 0 for 2. The top 2 hitters in the lineup are combined 0 for 5. The hottest hitter in the lineup, and the biggest swipe of the night so far is by Roger Cedeno. Why not? But it's foul. He had Hummel playing deep, but the count evens at a ball and a strike.
So happy for Edgar, going back to the All-Star game, his third appearance, but second time he's been voted in. Last season that meant an awful lot to him, being the first Colombian-born player to be voted in, and now he's duplicated it.
1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. That's a little pop-up for the first baseman, Dunn, over the shoulder. 2 out. Yeah, I'm the same way out. I love guys getting a chance to do it when it means a lot to those players, and it certainly does to Edgar. That's next Tuesday. Baseball's best converge in Houston, the 75th All-Star game. And of course, they battle for home field advantage in the upcoming World Series. The 2004 Major League Baseball All-Star game. That will be next Tuesday night, only on Fox. Here's Albert. Pujols with 2 out takes a strike. After a horrible storm moved through the St. Louis area last night, in the early hours of the morning, it is beautiful here tonight, below 80.
I hate to tell you this, but there is a forecast for more this evening.
And
it's late this evening.
That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Talking with Jeff Supon's father, you know, he and his mother and father are in town, and he said, boy, we've seen a lot of rain.
I'll say the Reds were in their downtown hotel going through that storm up in a high-rise building. It was a little scary at times.
Always have to have good hygiene on the bench.
There's no doubt about that. Or else you end up sitting alone. 2-1 pitch on the inside corner. Pujols thought it was too far inside. 2-2.
The reason I say that is I thought I saw Cedeno flossing.
We'll never know.
Make his dentist proud.
You get 2 doubles, you are contractually bound to floss
or do whatever.
2-2 pitch, skips in there, rolling on deck, full count. See if Albert can get a hold of one, or if Acevedo is careful with him. Crowd wants to see Albert do something. They start to get excited. Three-two. Went after it. It gets away, and Pujols is going to end up at first base. So a strikeout, then a wild pitch most likely. And the inning continues for Rolen. Strikeout, wild pitch.
Absolutely. Gets by LaRue and all the way back to the screen. Tried to slide, catch it, maybe even throw it all in one motion, but doesn't connect. And Albert gets on base for Scotty. Now make it pay.
Rolling now. Edmonds on deck. Acevedo trying to get through the 5th. Ball 1 is smothered by LaRue. They're in the bottom of the 5th inning at Milwaukee, with the Brewers leading the Cubs 4-2. Pittsburgh winning again. They just got 2 in the 7th and lead at Florida 3-2. How hot are they? Won 10 in a row. Here's a 1-0. Popped out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's funny, you know, everybody felt bad when the Cardinals lost 3 to the Pirates. Sometimes you get a team on a winning streak and they'll come back and help you later on. I think the Cardinals caught a break when they did not see Cincinnati earlier, when they were healthy and playing much better. And maybe we bemoan the fact that the Cardinals won't play the Cubs after July 20th, but that might be a blessing too.
On the outside corner, good pitch, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes after the strikeout by Pujols. Reached on the wild pitch. Roland takes ball 2. Roland waits for a 2-2 pitch.
Fastball in.
Cal Eldred talked earlier about his teammate Scott Rowland.
If we could just get this guy to drive somebody in. Just once, you know. Man, they just said that Scott's driven in Albert more than any other guy. Anybody else driving one guy in.
That's been the combination that has worked. He's at first. If he's going to drive him in, it's got to be a long ball. Oh, goodness. That was a good pitch. Acevedo thought he had Roland. It's ball 3. Acevedo started to walk away.
It was a little bit outside, but remember earlier there was a strike called, and that's a little better. See, Acevedo wanted it. He thought he had tricked him.
Roland came close to striking out. What will he do with another chance? Tap it foul.
Same pitch. You better not take it twice.
No. Edmonds would get a chance if Roland extends this 5th with the Cardinals down 3-2.
Jim Edmonds would love a chance, but he'd love a chance to take the lead with Scott tying the game, if not more.
Now LaRue wants to talk to Acevedo. The Reds in the 6th. Next inning will have Jimenez, Griffey, and Dunn. So the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. While we have a moment, we'll tell you what's on tap. It's brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time, and game time tomorrow is a little after 7. We're on the air at 6:30. The Cardinals tonight, right here on Fox Sports Net. Jesus Sanchez against Woody Williams, coming off a good start. A rain-interrupted start, but a good start. And a victory. Here's a 3-2. Runner goes, and a rip for a foul straight back to the screen.
Fastball up, fouled straight back. Yeah, that was just a little 2-hour rain delay that Woody.
2 hours.
2 hours. And had better stuff when he came back.
Pujols will go at first. 3-2 pitch. That'll put 2 on for Edmonds. So this started with a strikeout and a wild pitch. It's extended by a walk. That's the 3rd of the night, including the intentional walk. And Edmonds will come to the plate after a visit from Don Gullett, the pitching coach of Cincinnati, to Acevedo.
Don Gullett's lost some weight. He's got a daughter who's getting married this month. I don't know if there's any correlation between
look
that.
good in the picture. If you're going to pay that kind of money for a wedding album, might as well look great. Or you can lose a lot of weight by paying visits to the mound during a long, hot summer in Cincinnati.
That could be it, too.
One way or the other, I'm going to get a copy of those pictures. People don't realize how great a pitcher Don Gullett was.
Oh, man. Great winning percentage. Our
4 dealers key matchup. Jim Edmonds in his career against the guy he will face with 2 on, 2 out. 2 homers and is 8 for 13.
He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored today. So he's due.
He sees this guy well. How about seeing him out of the park to put the Cardinals on top by a couple? Jim's hit 16 home runs. Had a thought. Strike one. Shaking his head as he gets back into the box. He wants to make Pujols and Rolen run or trot. Although I don't think Rolen has ever trotted in his life.
No. Doesn't trot around the bases. Who runs hard when a home run?
Almost caught him on the right elbow. Ball one. Edmonds trying to work his way back from that groin strain. Up in a key spot here. Cardinals down 3-2. They have never led in this game. In at the knees, 1-2.
LaRue set up outside, and that ball right down the middle.
Going through every sign imaginable. Now LaRue is tired of that, so he'll go talk, and the crowd says, let's go. So that makes LaRue antsy and nervous, and the meeting was very quick. Look at that. He's already behind the plate again. That is the fastest I've ever seen a catcher go out and talk and get back behind the plate. That's what you can do, fans, if you boo a catcher going out. Speed up the game.
Wants this ball up and away.
Good. Slow roller, right side, bad break as it stays fair. And the inning is over. The Cardinals leave 2. They've stranded 6. We go through 5 innings. The Reds lead 3-2. No direct moment. Quote of the day from Chris Carpenter, yesterday's winner in that 4-1 game. It would be an honor to go pitch the All-Star game, that is, but in the long run it would help us. But it would be more of an honor to win a pennant and pitch in a World Series. Am I reading correctly?
Yeah, but you know what
the point of it is, it'd be great for him, but it'd be better for the team if he got some rest.
Well rested, come out there. You know, you don't get to the point where, you know, if he was scheduled to be the first starter after the All-Star break, he'd be able to make it. But if he pitched a couple innings in the game, maybe he couldn't.
Although, to me, for a guy that's battled back from what he's battled back from, taking all of last year off, more than a year, coming back and pitching to 9 wins, 3 losses as Menez gets a base hit the other way. Lead off the 6th inning. I think it'd be more than just an honor. I think it would be a real tribute to the kind of guy the Cardinals have in Chris Carpenter, who has been a huge addition and a real joy to watch.
But I think he would, you know, when all said and done, if he put a World Series ring on, and he's already been there with the Blue Jays, but I think you feel like he did his job. His teammates know how good he is. The organization knows how good he is, and so do the Cardinal fans.
A shift is on in the infield for Griffey, who's 2 for 2 tonight. Takes a ball inside. Ken has singled twice. He has scored once and then been picked off. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Griffey is as healthy as he's been since coming to the Reds. 19 home runs on the season. Off the fists and into shallow center field. That's a long run for Edmonds, but he's there. 1 out. First time Griffey's been retired. A big out. Adam Dunn coming up. Pitch by pitch feature brought to you by Chevrolet.
And these pitches are all basically in the same spot and look like a few of them should have been crushed. Took a little off, but they were up and in the middle of the plate, and Matt should be very thankful.
Here's the first to Dunn. It's outside and low. Talked about Griffey hitting that home run. which he did on Father's Day in St. Louis. He hasn't gone deep since.
No. Had a little calf injury, but he's hit about less than 150 since his return, or since that time.
An inside strike to Dunn. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Playing in his 3rd consecutive game, but he'll be representing the All-Star team. And
first time ever that on an All-Star team you have 3 guys in the same outfield with over 500 home runs.
And Joe, ever since they started voting, Ken Griffey has received the most votes of any player during the All-Star competition.
I was surprised and gleeful that Scott Rowland in the end became the top vote getter in the National League, and I was even more surprised that the top vote getter overall was Alfonso Soriano.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
He hasn't been around them.
No, but I mean, New York and then Texas. Scotty had over 3 million, but Griffey is, since the time they've been voting, has better than 37.5 million votes.
Runner is going. A chance for Molina from his knees. Safe. Menez pitched the right pitch, and he gets into second base as the count goes 3-1 on Dunn.
Base stealers are 3 for 6 now. That's the high throw, and he gets underneath it.
Ooh.
Pretty close play right there.
Looked a lot closer on the replay than it did live.
Our buddy Wally Bell out at second, calling him safe.
Adam Dunn now could add to the Cincinnati lead, which is 3-2. That'll put 2 on with 1 out. The walk is the first of the night, except for the intentional pass to Hummel back in the 2nd. The first unintentional pass handed out by Morris. And here's LaRue. LaRue took Morris deep when he made a start against the Reds earlier this season. The series finale, the Cardinals were shut out, and the Reds avoided the sweep. A strike.
Remember when the Cardinals were about 7 games under 500 at home?
What's it now?
They're 7 games above 500, 24-17.
Got off to that terrible start, and more than made up for it. 2 on, 1 out, no balls, 1 strike. Good pitch. Morris looks back at the pitching rubber or the landing area after letting that one go. It's 0-2.
It was awkward. You and I saw the same thing where, like, he slipped in his landing area, but he didn't kick at it or didn't do anything.
Jacob Cruz on deck. 2 on, 1 out. 0-2 pitch. Just low. Coming up on 9 o'clock. In the top of the 6th. Cardinals have never led in this game. They're down by a run, and Morris is trying to keep it that way. 1-2. LaRue is driven in 27. Hitting higher in the lineup than the Reds thought he would coming into the year, but because of injuries, there he is, and he grounds a potential double play ball. 6-4-3, and the inning is over. Morris gets through the 6th. Cardinals will have the bottom part of the order coming up. They still trail it by 1. Here as a means of coercion to try to coerce the Cardinals into hitting one here. They trail by 1. Our home run feature brought to you by Suntrip, donating $100 for every Cardinal home run hit to their Win One for the Kids charity fund. 99 for the year, and Roger Cedeno is first up. He has been great tonight, 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles and an RBI.
I know that would make Mark feel better. Our good buddy who can't come out to the games. And he got hit by got in a car accident, got banged up pretty good. Our good buddy in Hillsboro, Missouri, Mark Steghorst. And we want to get him well. I know he want to wish him a speedy recovery. And we'll take care of things at the ballpark. You get yourself well and get yourself back out here for the stretch run.
Cedeno leads it off and takes a strike.
Wish the best for Mark. Get himself well. And Rogers going to do something here for him.
Well, we'll wait and see. He doubled in the second. He doubled in the fourth. Has 7 RBIs as a Cardinal, 2 home runs, takes a strike. It's 0-2. Acevedo is pitched into the 6th inning. Their closer is an all-star, Danny Graves, and he has been busy.
They've blown a lot of saves in that bullpen too, though. Hopefully we can get a lead before we get to him.
Here's an 0-2. Breaking ball gets him. Cedeno is gone for the first time tonight. And the strikeout starts the 6th. Saturday, August 7th, the first 12,000 kids 12 and under with a paid admission receive a Build-A-Bear Workshop Fred Bird. Fred Bird will have his own bird condo featuring Grant's Farm and their 50-year anniversary. Kick off Build-A-Bear Workshop Day at the ballpark. Reggie Sanders will be at the Build-A-Bear Workshop in West County Mall on July 9th from 11 to 1. Go out there, meet a great Cardinal, and check out a fun store for the kids, Build-A-Bear Workshop. Here is Marlon Anderson. With 1 out, nobody on. Marlon with a sac fly his last time up, strike 1.
Give Acevedo credit for that breaking ball, still fooling hitters. I thought by this time they'd kind of have a better idea of it.
Popped up, left side, it will get out of the reach of Hummel and LaRue. And LaRue and Hummel gave it all they could without flipping into the dugout. Strike 2 on Anderson.
Both of them coming over here, checking where they are, trying to reach over. Coaching staff trying to push him back.
0-2 on Marlin with Yadier Molina on deck.
Fastball down and away.
Got him on the outside corner as LaRue framed it. 2 out. 5 strikeouts for Acevedo. Molina coming up. Max Kellerman, IMAX, takes on the world to discuss the latest rumors of who will be the next Lakers coach and where Kobe Bryant might play next season. Plus, now that it's over, where does Eric Gagne's streak of 84 straight saves rank in baseball history? IMAX tonight at 10:30 only on Fox Sports Net. His streak came to an end in a victory for the Dodgers. He gave up 2 runs in the 9th inning, but they won it in the 10th and beat Arizona. The Dodgers are only a game out in the NL West.
Still a phenomenal streak, and I think that's where it's going to try and rank it along with, say DiMaggio's 50-game hitting streak.
56.
56.
1 ball, 1 strike on Yadier Molina.
Because it's the longest save streak on record, so you try to put it with others.
With 2 out, nobody on. 1 ball, 1 strike. Molina lays off. Morris on deck. The Reds will have the bottom 3 in their lineup in the 7th. Reading about Jason Schmidt and Eric Gagne.
Yeah.
Checking out the standings. Molina has not homered as a big leaguer. Hitting .245, that averages up. Got a pretty good rip there. 2-2. Acevedo is in a spot to strike out the side here in the 6th.
Molina has hit safely in 6 of his last 8 games with an at bat at a .391 clip.
Here comes a 2-2 from Jose Acevedo. We are through 6. Acevedo strikes out the side. 7th inning now. Bottom of the order coming up for the Reds. They still lead at 3-2. Top of the 7th inning. Bottom 3 in the order coming up for Cincinnati. That means Cruz, Hummel, and Acevedo. Although there is action for the Reds out in their bullpen as a lefty gets loose. Matt Morris back to the hill. He's due to lead off in the bottom of the 7th, so this could be it for the Cardinal starter. Cubs are batting in the top of the 7th in Milwaukee, trailing 4-2. Matt Morris up to 91 pitches on the night.
Matty always gives you at least 6 innings. Hopefully he's trying to get here through the 7th.
Cruz has a hit in this game, and that hit was an RBI double. He also scored a run, so a big swing of the bat back in the 2nd. A 3-run second for the Reds. That's been all of their scoring tonight. That's high, 2-0.
Matt has worked 6 or more innings in 16 of his 17 starts and 7 or more innings in 9 of his 17 games coming into tonight.
This would qualify, by the way, as another quality start. The Cardinals lead the big leagues in that category of quality starts. They've made 51 of them, now 52. And that's 6 or more innings, allowing 3 runs or less.
Dropped the staff ERA down to 3.85 coming into tonight.
Cruz leading off, hits it to first. Pujols says, "I've got it." 1 out. I don't know. We're only in the 7th. Matt Morris is due to lead off in the bottom of the inning. If he has a 1-2-3 frame, I wouldn't be shocked with the way Tony La Russa's managed this year to have him hit and send him back out for the 8th, even with a relatively rested bullpen.
I don't think that would happen tonight.
Well, we'll just wait and see, mister.
But we have been surprised before.
Absolutely. We were surprised against the Cubs when Jason Marquis did it going into the 8th.
And as suspected, Gabe White thrown in the bullpen.
There's Gabe, the former Red, former Yankee, current Red.
Tommy Hume in front of him. Juan Castro swinging a bat at the on-deck circle.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Hummel is jammed, strike 2. White warming up with the 9, 1, and 2 hitters coming up. Back to Morris. Good play. He's made a couple of them tonight. A little too lazy, but 2 out. Base is empty, and here comes a pinch hitter, I believe. What was the greatest dunk in basketball history? What's the most dramatic home run? The sexiest athlete? Sports List is the new show that counts down the 10 best and worst of everything and anything in sports and starts a new argument 5 nights a week. Summer Sanders hosts it. Premieres July 19th, only on Fox Sports Net. Here's Juan Castro with 2 out, nobody on, and Jose Acevedo, the starter for the Reds, is finished, even though he struck out the side to end the 6th.
Castro's been kind of their utility guy. He's made 28 starts at 4 different positions.
He's been a good player ever since they got him from the Dodgers.
Yeah, and when he starts, his bat's .321. He was out with a strained left ribcage muscle.
He is gone. Womack takes it. Another 1-2-3 inning for Morris. We'll see if he leads it off in the bottom of the 7th. Acevedo's finished. Time to stretch. 3-2 Reds. But before we tell you about him, Greg O'Brien is today's merchandise prize winner in the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. The Cardinals hit a home run in the 7th. Greg O'Brien qualifies for the Hyundai Santa Fe drawing in September. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. Here we go. Reggie Sanders will lead off and bat for Morris. That's change number 1. So the bullpen will go to work. as Klein gets loose in the pen. Our call to the bullpen here is brought to you by the St. Louis Renaissance Grand Hotel. Gabe White, one of many changes for the Reds as they take the field in the 7th.
Gabe White has pitched very well since coming over from the Yankees, and the reason he was let go by the Yankees is he didn't pitch well with them. But third time back with the Reds, familiar territory, and very comfortable in the National League.
Adam Dunn moves from first base out to left field. Tim Hummel moves from third base to first base, and Juan Castro stays in the game to play third. Reggie Sanders takes a ball, and we're underway in the bottom of the 7th. 3-2 Cincinnati. So the pitcher is batting in the spot vacated by Jacob Cruz, the number 7 position. A 1-0. The Yankees are looking for a left-handed reliever. They traded Gabe White to Cincinnati because, as Al said, he wasn't pitching well at all with the Yankees. His ERA was huge, as is the ERA of Felix Heredia, the other lefty that they currently have in their pen after signing him to a 2-year contract.
He's 0-1, 8.27 in 24 appearances for the Yankees.
Sanders takes a strike. It's 1-2. Nothing but fastball so far from Gabe White.
8 appearances since joining the Reds. He's retired 23 of 27 batters faced. He was acquired on June the 18th, along with a player to be named later in cash.
A 1-2. Sanders hits it down the left field line. Is it fair? Is it gone? It is fair and off the wall. Sanders will cruise into second with a double. And there's the lead man here in the 7th. Cardinals down by 1. And that thing missed leaving the park and tying the game. It had to have been by inches.
It had to have been, Joe. Right down in the corner. See a high trajectory coming down, goes off the wall.
Oh.
And boy, that's even close looking at the replay.
About a foot.
Maybe from the replay, I couldn't even tell if it was over or not over.
No, it looked like it hit about a foot under that yellow line, and Reggie Sanders is into second with a double. I think it clearly hit below the yellow line, but we'll look.
Yep,
right there.
You're exactly right. Much younger eyes.
Oh yeah, hasn't done all his work. Womack now trying to advance the runner at least. The bunt is foul.
You have more experience being objective.
That's it. Let's see if Womack can get the runner over. And the Cardinals can take advantage of the leadoff double.
Well, Kendall come down. It can do a couple things. He can relay a message, or at least make the defense think that maybe the bunt is on or off. Tony Womack's got a lot of hitting lanes on that left and right side.
The bunt is perfect. Takes a good play to get Womack out at first, and I could only hope, never was, good enough athlete to make the play that Jimenez just made. How tough was that play with Womack flying down the line to cover that much ground, take the throw, step on the bag to get the out.
You're right, Joe. And remember, Castro just came into the ball game, play third base, and he gets just a perfect bunt for a third baseman. He's got to come in, vacate the bag, giving a free lane to your runner. Sanders going to third, and then he's got to throw hard, trying to get the runner out at first base with the second baseman on the move, coming over to take the bag, take the throw at the first base bag. Infield in for Edgar.
He's driven in 36, and he pops it out of play.
Lucked out there that it gets out of play. Now that pitch up, easy to hit the ball in the air, and you're hoping to hit it far enough for a sacrifice fly at the very least, but you don't want a pop-up in this situation.
So Sanders did pinch hit. He led off with a double, bunted to third, and now it's up to Edgar and/or Albert. Field is in, tying run at third, 1 out. That's ripped. That is gone, and the Cardinals lead it 4-3. That's as fast as Renneria has ever gone around the bases. He is jacked up after jacking one out of here to put the Cardinals on top.
Reggie got it started this inning, but Edgar puts a punctuation mark with his 5th home run. Shows you why he's going to the All-Star game. Clutch performer, 2 more RBIs, 38, and no doubt about it, line drive into the second deck. And remember now, Matt Morris is the benefactor of those 2 runs and stands to be the winner of this game.
Surprisingly, they stay with the lefty White with Pujols up. There's ball 1 rolling on deck. They have a right-hander ready.
Got the ball up. He's looking for that sacrifice fly. Well, he gets a little bit more. And just gave a quick curtain call, too, for this fans. Make him happy.
Crowd of 29,786. Pujols gets a rip, 1-2.
I heard an interview with Bob Gibson yesterday on radio and was asked about guys that could have played in his era. And he mentioned, you know, he wanted to see a little bit more of Pujols because part of its longevity. He mentioned obviously Scott Rowland, but I was very pleased to see him mention Edgar Renteria.
Pujols tries to tomahawk one out. Back is done in front of the track. 2 out. While we were in a replay, Edgar Renteria went out for a curtain call. And Roger Cedeno, his teammate, tried to join in. You know what? I'll give half a curtain call to Cedeno tonight for the 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles.
That's
why not?
right. I have no problem with that.
But that's just a couple of guys having fun. More of what was written about today with the camaraderie of this team as Rowland gets a swing. Strike 1.
Joe, it really is true. When you talk about the Cardinals, you cannot mention them without one of the first couple words being team. These guys really do care about each other. There's a lot more of that friendly jabs going on that, you know, that build character.
0-2 on Rowland.
And I think of Reggie Sanders, Jeff Suppan have been guys that have brought in that little bit of humor. And, you know, and Roger Cedeno, I mean, there's another guy, you know, Tavares. There was an article over the weekend about Tavares. People, even his own teammates, didn't understand him and realize that he cares. Maturity.
Ball 1 to Scott Rowland. Four 4-3, the Cardinals lead for the first time tonight. Rowland takes ball 2. The Reds in the 8th will have Friel, Larkin, and Jimenez against Steve Klein. Morris 7 innings, 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. The inning is over, but not before the Cardinals get a pinch hit double from Reggie Sanders. And against Gabe White, Edgar Renteria goes deep. He shot around the bases after putting the Cardinals on top for the first time this evening. One look at it. And now another. It looked and sounded great. Cardinals lead 4-3. Copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals LLC and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals LLC. And Cardinal Baseball is a production of Bud Sports. It is an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net. What's it going to be tonight? Cardinals lead by 1 going into the 8th inning. And our call to the bullpen brought to you by the St. Louis Renaissance Grand Hotel.
Steve Klein will come in this ball game. He's been very busy, appearing for the 40th time. He has 1 save and 1 opportunity. ERA is 9th best among National League relievers. And he is unscored upon at home.
One pitch. One out. Creel is gone. Talk about unscored upon. For the most part, the Cardinals bullpen has been just that. They've allowed only 3 runs, 2 earned over the last 20 2/3 innings now. A span of 12 appearances going back to the 23rd of June when they allowed 6 runs in a win to the Chicago Cubs.
Currently, they're ranked second in ERA at 3.35. They're ranked first in the National League with only allowing 18 home runs, the fewest.
A strike is in at the knees to Barry Larkin over the inside corner, and a guy who's been awfully busy lately and happy to be so is Jason Isringhausen.
I remember early in the season couldn't get an our save opportunity.
Good fastball from Klein. It popped in there. 0-2. You can still vote, by the way, for the All-Star teams. You can, because they have that one extra position.
Oh, that's right.
Left. No
One
Cardinals,
per
by the
team.
way, are on that list. One for each team. One for the AL, one for the NL. Names like Abreu and Steve Finley. I think about 5 names, including Lyle Overbay, who is at the top of everybody's list of all-star snubs. He may get to play anyway.
Yeah, he should. And is Casey giving up his spot?
I was going to say, if Casey doesn't go, and he probably won't, 1-2 pitch, 2-2. It's Larkin now, Jimenez on deck, and then the big bats of Griffey and Dunn. Larkin slaps one foul. Matt Morris, who pitched tonight, is standing by for an interview, and I know you sweat during a game, but when you hand over a 1-run lead to this very good bullpen, you're probably sweating a little more now, aren't you?
Well, I'm lucky to have the 1-run lead without a doubt. This team's unbelievable. They battle their butts off for me, and I appreciate it tremendously. So I'll hand it over to bullpen anytime.
Hey, Matt, you fall behind early, and you know that if you can just keep them in check, you've got a chance.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole deal. I gave up the 3 runs in the second there and just tried to battle throughout the game. They looked like they were on my curveball. They were on a lot of pitches I was throwing, and just tried to expand the plate a little bit and get some outs and see how long I can make it. And, you know, fortunately, Egger came up with a big hit.
3 balls, 2 strikes. We'll all watch this pitch with 1 out to Barry Larkin. Klein. That's out of play. And on one side, Matt, you could look to this season and say it's been a frustrating start to the year. On the other, you're what, 5 outs away from 9 wins going toward the All-Star break. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's nice. My ERA's up a little high. I've given up a lot of home runs, but I'm just trying to win games, as is the team. So 9 wins going into the break. I mean, I shouldn't be saying it now, knock on wood, but with our bullpen,
well,
I
whatever.
almost can.
I mean,
right,
yeah.
right. You know, it's nice. I'm trying to suck up some innings and get some wins.
Let me ask you this, and then we'll let you go watch as there's 2 out, nobody on, and Jimenez coming up. I nearly pulled a muscle calling the catch by Edmonds out in center field. What'd you think of that, baby?
Unbelievable. From his catch yesterday, diving in the gap, coming up with a big catch, and then taking back a home run from Dunn. I honestly didn't think it was going to carry that far. I don't think Jimmy did either, but it did.
Hey, Matt, thanks for your time, and good luck. Hang in there the rest of tonight. You'll be watching just with the rest of us.
All right, Joe.
All right. That's Matt Morris. He is in line if the Cardinal bullpen can hang on for number 9. That's got a nice sound to it here in the middle part of, even approaching the middle part of July. 2 out, nobody on, no balls, 1 strike on D'Angelo Jimenez. Al, to Klein's credit, he has all year come in and done one thing very well, and that's throw strikes.
I think just the difference in last year. You know, he really has pitched very effectively this year.
And how good has he been? Unbelievable. The bullpen continues to roll. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Cardinals lead it by 1.
Gentlemen, the National League needs your support. A vote for the AL is a vote for the future. America, are you ready for your 2004 All-Star Game?
Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. And by Chevrolet. 10 new models, 5 available now. The new Chevrolets, an American revolution.
Jim Edmonds will lead off, bottom of the 8th. Cardinals on top 4-3. Edmonds, Cedeno. And then Anderson against the lefty, Gabe White. White surrendered the lead last inning when he gave up the double to Sanders and the home run to Edgar Renteria. By the way, you should know that as we look out in the Cardinal bullpen, it's quiet, and that's not a huge surprise with Griffey and Dunn, 2 lefties coming up to start the 9th inning for Cincinnati, and Klein right now in the game for the Cardinals. He is going to stay out there, it appears. It's only a 1-run game, and it's surprising that nobody's getting loose behind Gabe White out in the Reds bullpen. That's ball 1.
You know, sometimes you have to go to someone other than Izzy and just try and, in this case, you know, you've got the 2 big left-handed bats, so it makes it pretty easy for Tony.
Look out into right field. Launch up, carrying at the wall. Cardinals lead by 2. Way out of here for number 17 from Edmonds.
If memory serves me right, Gabe White has had some very good success against Jim Edmonds, and I'm sure that felt awfully good hitting that one off this southpaw. Ball up, fastball. He likes the ball up, and every now and then he'll time one, hits it off the back of the bullpen, and that is a big, big insurance run. So, I mean, I think he wants this to be a total day off for Jason Isringhausen, even though there's an off day on Thursday, but have him available tomorrow, take the off day, get ready for the Chicago series, enjoy the All-Star break.
Cedeno trying to hit one right-handed, popped it up. Oh, that ball was dropped.
Did he take it out?
But they're going to call it out. The second base umpire, by the way, didn't see it. He puts his hands up while he belly had his back to the play after Jimenez came down with the ball.
And
coming up, the Midwest Sports Report, 60 minutes of nightly sports news completely dedicated to St. Louis's home team. Star of the game, Tony La Russa live. Interviews, you name it. We'll show you what happened at the end of that play. Wally Bell had turned his back. And Jimenez coming down with the ball, making the exchange to the hand just to flip it around the infield, dropped it. Taguchi takes ball 1 low. Taguchi is going to bat and then come in and likely play the outfield for Cedeno.
okay, now, and you could say that constitutes a catch reaching in. You have to extract the ball, a voluntary release. I saw during the 82 stretch run, Terry Harper caught a ball in fair territory, ran 15-20 yards.
Taguchi lines to right. Nice catch by Friel.
And hurdled a small wall in left field at Fulton County Stadium and dropped the ball. And everyone went berserk when they called it a non-catch.
But that's the rule.
But that's the rule. He never reached in and made that play. And remember, we saw it last season in Chicago in that September series where they claimed that Albert Pujols never reached in, which we all thought he did.
Molina checks his swing and a ball in the dirt. Ball 1. The Cardinals will have Taguchi play for Anderson. Taguchi does pinch hit for Marlon Anderson. You could make a case that with a 2-run lead, you could add to your defense out in right with Cedeno. Now Ray King will get loose.
Be very interesting. Will they have Ray King pitch the 9th instead of Steve Klein?
Doesn't look like he would be ready, although he doesn't take long to get ready. But he's going to take a seat. Klein's coming back out. 9th inning. Cardinals up. we got to where we are right now. It's 5-3 going into the 9th inning, and the Cardinal bullpen will try to stay hot. Steve Klein had a perfect 8th. And now he will work to Griffey, Dunn, LaRue. How nice is it? We've had that Edmonds home run where one pitch won't kill you.
Well, Steve also remembers back on June the 19th, he retired Griffey and Dunn for a hold in the 8th inning. Foul ball. Molina couldn't hold on to it, but strike one.
Strike one on Griffey, who tonight 2 for his first 2, then flied to center against Morris, who got it together and ended up giving the Cardinals 7. Now they hope for 2 out of Klein. And you're right about getting Isringhausen a day off, as Tavares is the right-hander getting loose instead of Izzy in the Cardinal bullpen.
And hopefully retire Griffey and Dunn, and then Tony will have to make that decision. Stick with Klein or go to the 27th out with the right hand.
1 ball, 1 strike. Griffey has hit 19 home runs, 500 in his career. Cardinals up 2. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Griffey didn't like that last one, thought it was low and away. Steve's fastball has had more life to it. His slider has a better bite, but he's throwing more strikes and being much more aggressive.
Oh, nasty pitch. And Griffey, after not liking that 1-2 call, lays off a tantalizing breaking ball.
That's the respect the future Hall of Famer gets.
Base hit. Here come the Reds. Leadoff man is on. They've had a flair for the dramatic this season. Dunn will come up. Ryan Burr will pop up on your screen with an update of what's coming your way on the Midwest Sports Report.
Right after the game on the Busch Light Midwest Sports Report, the best Cardinals post-game coverage in town, and Kevin Slayton taking your phone calls at 1-888-RING-FOX. All that and more after the game. Now back to Joe and Al, guys.
Adam Dunn. Thanks, Ryan. Adam Dunn with 1 on, nobody out. Tying run at the plate. Ball 1 inside. Griffey is on with his 3rd hit of the night. Cardinal infield and outfield plays Dunn to pull. Adam Dunn, number 2 in the National League with 24 home runs. He had 1 taken away earlier. He also does a lot of that, swinging and missing.
Don't make a mistake. You know, if you make your good quality pitches, you'll get him out. But if you make a mistake and leave one in his wheelhouse, he can hit it a long way.
Number 1 in the National League in strikeouts with 103 is Adam Dunn. 2 balls and a strike.
Be careful inside there.
I will refer to Adam Dunn as Anchorman. All right, he looks just like Will Ferrell to me. 1 on, nobody out. 2 balls and a strike. Pitch, 3 balls and a strike, and watch out.
That's it, Joe. A lot of times these pitches like this, because you got to be careful when you're a pitcher. This is probably your last batter. You don't want to make a mistake.
3-2.
Got in trouble early in the count trying to go in, but that's a dangerous spot. Here's that swing where he's got some holes. He missed location on that one too.
3-2. Hard hit. Pujols. Out. Out. Double play. What a play by Albert.
Even Albert likes that. He knows he made a terrific play. That was a bullet right into the midsection, and it deserves further mention.
And it is, Al, our Bud Light play of the game, brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
Well,
that ball was hammered.
And that is old-fashioned, where you put your body, you sacrifice your body, you put it right square up there. So, but he catches leather on that bullet into the midsection and then turns 2.
Albert still trying not to smile over
Oh,
at first base.
he had a big smile because he knew he made a nifty play, not only to get the one out and get the lead runner, but to get the return throw, get back over there. That was great.
Right field. Will it stay in play? Cedeno giving it a look. Cardinals win it. What a game. They win it 5-3, and Steve Klein gets the save. And this Cardinal team celebrates yet again. We came on the air talking about the All-Stars. And those All-Stars stepped up and shined again for the Cardinals in this come-from-behind 5-3 win. They add to their lead in the Central. For Dan and Al, I'm Joe. Midwest Sports Report is yours right now.